You want to see something cool?
Miraculous!
切先的手の中と猫の悪シーズン5最終エピソード始まるよ
You know, don't forget to like and subscribe to Gabe and Natalie's YouTube channel. I hope that's good.
In the daytime, I'm Marinette, just a normal girl with a normal life. But there's something about me that no one knows yet, 'cause I've got a secret. Miraculous, simply the best, until the best when things go wrong. Miraculous, the luckiest, the power of love always so strong. Miraculous, miraculous.
Hi everyone! Princess Pipeline here and welcome back to my channel. Hi everyone, here's your homegirl Mimi. But I'll never ever lose the beat! This party's about to go crazy! With the pulsating power of a driving disco rhythm comes the queen of the boogie beat!
Hi, I'm Venus22, also known as Tokyo, depending on where you're seeing it.
Hey everyone, this is Overgot to Phoenix.
What's Movino? So let's get the show on the road.
I'll reintroduce myself. I am Xiaomei. I am the narrator of the story you're hearing.
But you already know me. Let's review Miraculous Ladybug Season 4, Episode 128, Representation. The history of Adrian and Grest, Santa Monster Theory, and Marinette's Tears.
Look out, here we come!
Representation. The history of Felix Fathom and Night Tormentor.
The episode begins with the VVD News Studio. News presenter Russell T. Willis tells all the Parisians that former Mayor André Bourgeois has resigned and that there is already a candidate, the French teacher Miss Bustier. He also says that, as always in the past, Armand de Argencourt will also be running for mayor. The presenter wishes them good luck and turns the attention over to the arrival of couple Adrian and Kagami. A video of them then shows both of them saying that they love each other dearly ever since their parents associated with each other. The screen then reveals that Adrian was watching the broadcast and he starts to question his own actions. Flag, who was fiddling with the postcard, answers his question by reminding him that he let his own father control his life and selling his story through a fake narrative. However, then apologizes for his brutally honest words. Meanwhile, in another hotel room, the same broadcast was being watched by Kagami, who becomes infuriated when she listens to her own words being said on TV. However, her rage is halted as she spots Felix disguised as Argos. Felix then breathes onto the glass pane near the balcony of the hotel room and draws a heart. Kagami joins him and they hop away from the hotel. Marinette, after speaking to Chloe in the previous episode, is seen getting into the elevator crying. Tiki asks if she can help, but Marinette says if she knows some jokes, but Kwami's can't. All her classmates welcome her and thank her for organizing this party with Zoe by shining a light on her. Some of her classmates thank her about everything she has done, but she sees Adrian and is confident about him being really Adrian. She starts to follow him, but some of her friends ask what's wrong, mainly Nino and Olga. And Marinette doesn't listen and continues to follow him. Gabe, who is upset that Adrian and Kagami escaped and told classified for the gorilla, and he doesn't know, and Tomoe asks Gabe to be akumatized, but he will take care of this.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Gabe yells at Natalie about Adrian, and she doesn't know. Gabe renounced her control, allowing Gabe to take Emily and akumatizes himself into Night Tormentor.
We'll be right back to the show on Disney Channel. Now, let's get back to the show on Disney Channel.
Later, Astro Cat appears to look for Marinette in the party, but instead, he sees a new akumatized person, his own father that calls himself Night Tormentor. Cat Noir fights him and argues with him about his parroting. As Cat Noir dodges his magic dust, he hits Rose, which awakens her nightmare. Night Tormentor says that he will stop her nightmare if they reveal him where is Adrien and Marinette. Jillica says never, and he also hits her. Cat Noir wants to hit him, but before he could use the power of migration. Max says that it's a 99% chance that he went after Marinette. Meanwhile, Night Tormentor enters Marinette's room and grows annoyed at seeing Marinette's desktop wallpaper being Adrien themed. Cat Noir finds him in there and demands for him to leave his classmates alone. Night Tormentor attacks him while Cat Noir ridicules his father for needing better parenting skills. The latter forms a former into Marinette's desk, where he happily looks at a picture of Adrien and Marinette herself before Night Tormentor creates a voyage and leaves through it, Cat Noir barely being able to catch up to him. So Night Tormentor and Cat Noir fought at the bakery, and he hits Tom and gets a nightmare, and Sabine tells Cat Noir to fix this after he is defeated, and the two continue their brawl. In Paris, again, Night Tormentor is watching the fireworks, asking himself where Adrien is. Where once again, Cat Noir attacks him, suggesting that Adrien is avoiding him. And as he isn't a nice father, they engage in a brief fight, Cat Noir saying that he should leave the girl and boy alone. Before Night Tormentor once again uses Voyage, this time Cat Noir unable to follow him, and falls off the building into the road, calling Night Tormentor, and effectively Gabriel as a whole, a coward and a liar. Zooming back to Paris yet once again, Night Tormentor is calling out for Adrien, when Cat Noir catches up with him, once again ridiculing him, saying that he would not want a father like him. Night Tormentor fights Cat Noir, saying he would teach him some manners if he was his son. Cat Noir tells him he would say that he couldn't always make decisions for people, that his responsibility for having a child was to allow them to blossom and be free. Just when Night Tormentor is cornered and Cat Noir is about to cataclysm his blowpipe, he remarks on how sorry he feels for his son. Night Tormentor says that his son is very happy, putting Cat Noir in shock. This allows Night Tormentor to kick Cat Noir back, and finally hit him with the magic dust, awakening his nightmare while Night Tormentor tells him to learn some respect. Cat Noir wakes up in his nightmare where Paris is in ruins, the moon is destroyed similar to Cat Blanc. The sky is orange and everyone is destroyed, encased in fragile statues. His suit is white while his hair, skin, and eyes are blue. Cat Noir mentions and questions everything in horror while Night Tormentor comments this is what happens to ill-mannered children who can't control their anger. Cat Noir realizes he is holding a destroyed ladybug, denying that he did this before the ladybug crumples into dust. He kneels down and sobs while Cat Tormentor says that if he hands over his Miraculous, the nightmare will end, which the distraught Cat Noir agrees to, and the villain smiles. Night Tormentor is about to take Cat Noir's ring when Marinette's log is thrown at him by none other than Nina, who was with Alia and Kim, asking him why he's so mean to people and they throw balls and other objects at him, distracting him long enough for Ivan to use a bunty manner to tie him up and get him away from Cat Noir. Nino sends Kim to check on Cat Noir, who slowly starts to come to his senses. Kim and later Max say that they need Cat Noir at 100%, as Ladybug is nowhere to be seen. Alia is fighting Night Tormentor, who throws her to the ground, and just as he is about to use his blowpipe to strike, Cat Noir cataclysms it, releasing the Megakuma and turning Night Tormentor back into Gabriel. And Zoe catches them Kuma in a jar, while Cat Noir thanks her. The episode continues with Marinette following Felix into the school's art room, where she finds instead a drawing from Nathaniel that makes her cry more. Felix and Kagami are listening to this from the rooftop while Dusu cries, but Felix reassures him that they are doing this for a happy ending, just before Felix transforms back into Argos. Then, after making sure Kagami is ready, he creates an amok to blow into Kagami's ring, creating the Centimonster once upon a time a projector-like Centimonster. Back in the school's art room, Marinette is curled up crying on the floor when she hears Once Upon a Time starting to project a light onto a stage, where Kagami and Adrien are in white suits, putting on white masks and silencing Marinette. They start to recite a fairy tale-esque play, where a king and queen were expecting a child, praising it for being able to continue the kingdom lineage. While zooming in on the ring the king is wearing, they gave birth to twins, both girls, initially struggling over who they should hand over their legacy to. They decided to hand it to the child who was born 7 seconds earlier. Continuing the play, Adrien explains that the two twins grew up, both quite different. The firstborn was more curious, escaping the life they courted every opportunity she could. Meanwhile, the younger daughter wanted to please her family, becoming well-behaved and staying in the castle. The king and queen wonder if they entrusted their legacy to the right princess, believing she will be better behaved eventually. Due to this belief, the more curious princess was allowed to leave the castle, where she studied overseas in another kingdom. Here, where she has found love in a humble tailor, Marinette realizes who this is referring to. The tailor made magnificent clothes that revealed the beauty of anyone who wore them. Despite her parents' anger, the curious princess gave up her legacy and luxury to be with the tailor. So the tailor's ring is taken off, split into two, and one half is given back to him, with the other half given to the curious princess, and the princess concludes that the only thing left to have is a truly happy life for them to have a child. Meanwhile, to please her parents, the second princess marries a man described to be wealthy yet heartless and a lord of war. They also dream for a child, being the heir to their kingdom.
We'll be right back to the show on Disney Channel. Now, let's get back to the show on Disney Channel.
And now, back to our show.
In the play, time passes and neither couple were able to have a child. After some time, the curious princess resigned herself to the court to be able to benefit from the remedies her sister did. But this didn't work until one day the curious princess was expecting. During the scene, peacock feathers appear behind the couple, shocking Marinette as she realizes the truth. The Lord of War is furious at this, believing he and his wife deserve the child more than the curious princess who abandoned her kingdom and a useless tailor. He confronts the tailor and says how it's unfair, and the tailor suggests it's a miracle. The curious princess feels bad for her sister and brother-in-law, and asks the tailor if he can let them have a child as well. The tailor confronts the Lord of War and says that he has found a solution for him and his wife, but he will have to pay a price to give his best knight to guard their future son. For this exchange, a magic amulet will be lent, and one that is able to give life to creations and dreams and allows the creator to control them, the Peacock Miraculous. The Lord of War refuses to use sorcery, and the tailor says it's ultimately up to him whether he decides to use it. But the former accepts and takes the amulet, using the Miraculous to create the moth and inserting it into his ring. The jealousy he uses comes to life, allowing his wife to become pregnant, once again showing peacock feathers in the background. Though unlike the tailor, the Lord of War is reluctant to touch the stomach. A few months after this, both sons were born from both princesses. The Lord of War has fallen ill in the play sometime after his son was born, believing he was paying the price for using magic the weaker became. This made his fear morph into hatred for his creation, his son, constantly treating him right and calling him a monster. His son did not understand why his father doesn't love him, which is said as Adrien takes off his mask and faces Marinette. Marinette realizes that he and the son in the play are feeling sympathy for him. The son also did not understand why he felt like he needed to obey his father at every command he gave, even if those commands were hurtful to him. If he became fond of everything his father did not approve of, he would be commanded to destroy it. The Lord of War continued to call his son a monster through all this time, partially breaking his ring containing the amok at some point, causing the son to collapse. The son realized that the ring is what caused him to always obey his father, and what his life is linked to. He can only recover the ring, and therefore his freedom. When his father died from the effects of the damaged Peacock Miraculous, he realizes his amulet could take away his life, exactly how he gave it to him. He went to the tailor's house, who had become the prince, in order to steal the amulet. But this prince was powerful, and the only thing he would trade the amulet for were other amulets he desired. Marinette realizes this exchange as the exchange of the Miraculouses in the Guardian box for the Peacock Miraculous. The sun met a girl like him, which is narrated while both Felix and Kagami take off their masks. The two fell in love, exactly like the Curious Princess and the tailor. Both of the couples just wanted to be free and love each other, but the tailor is trying to stop them, to which they could use someone's help, the help of Ladybug. The only one able to face a tailor, and the only one who can fix things. Marinette realizes they are talking about her. The play ends as Marinette turns on the light, still hearing the narration in her head, telling her she knows how the sun and girl feel. Not being able to be with the one you love, having to fight to save the one you love, having to lie all the time, never being able to say who you are. As this last line said, Marinette unrolls a curtain to see a statue of her alter ego Ladybug, startling her enough to wake up on the floor, in the exact position she started the play in, revealing that the whole entire sequence has been a dream. She sees a single white feather fly past her and out the window, implying Argo's release once upon a time from existence. She unrolls the curtain once again and just sees a poster of the Ladybug and Cat Noir movie. She closes the curtain with a determined expression, looks out the window, accepting to help the two as the feather flies away. Argos returns to the balcony of Kagami's London room with her, asking his lover if Marinette will have the courage to face Gabe. And Kagami says nothing will stop her, and they share a kiss before they part ways.
You know where you ought to hide next time? Back in France.
Epilogue.
Cat Noir arrives at Marinette's balcony, deciding it's time to tell her his identity. Just as he's about to open her hatch, he has flashbacks of a nightmare, and Dee transforms in pain. Flag asks
Adrian,
what happened. As he explains, since Ladybug didn't perform a Miraculous Ladybug, his nightmare is still there. One floor below, Tiki is sad about the fairy tale she and Marinette witnessed. While Marinette says that it's not a fairy tale and that the story is not over, she looks at a message from Alia showing her and Cat Noir with the Akuma in a jar. Marinette concludes Cat Noir must have had a busy night before transforming into Ladybug. Still thinking about the nightmare, Adrian tells Flag that he can't tell Marinette he's Cat Noir and he can't disobey his father either, meaning he cannot stay in Paris. He transforms back into Cat Noir, then Astro Cat and flies away. Seconds later, Ladybug comes out of Marinette's room and goes to the roof of the train station to find the Mega Akuma in a jar, as stated in Cat Noir's voicemail. Ladybug purifies the Akuma and sets it free. Cat Noir asks over the voicemail if the butterfly was free, and comments how they are a good team, even if he's not there. We do an imaginary panda just before the end card shows.
Ah, spoiler alert!
In the post-end card scene, Kagami and Adrian are put into white rooms with minimal entertainment with the intent of keeping them there. Gabriel tells Tomoe that their children will not escape them again. Tomoe is happy with this due to it meaning they can launch Operation Perfect Alliance. Gabriel agrees and then hangs up on the call. He comments that Ladybug and Cat Noir's adventures will be put into an end soon.
Did you know that?
Gabriel acclimatizes himself into a new version of the Collector Night Tormentor. Gabriel is revealed to keep Adrian on a bedroom with security cameras in London, as well as Tomoe with Kagami. Kagami is revealed to know about Marinette's secret identity as Ladybug and her duty as a guardian. Since a conversation between Marinette and Alia had imperfection that Kagami overheard, Argos takes Kagami away from her bedroom and they both depart to Paris with the objective to tell the truth about Monarch. He and Adrian to Marinette. With so, Kagami allows them to homologize a ring, manifesting the Senna monster once upon a time. And this is the 7th Season 5 episode that is not named after the concept of a Miraculous. The concept is applied in the episode, showing how people put on a show for others, such as the Spare Bear. When Chloe tried to put on a show of being nice to everyone else, in Miracle, Queen, and Protection, despite being happy for the other, Kagami nor Marinette couldn't their sadness over losing their Adrian's love. And Gabriel and Tomoe had begun using holographs of Adrian and Kagami to convince the public their children are a couple. Marinette tries to pretend everything is fine in front of her friends to not spoil the end of the year party with her sadness over Adrian's departure. Felix disguises himself as Adrian to lure Marinette to College Francois Dupont's art room. Felix and Kagami use the power of the Senta monster once upon a time to put on a play about Felix's life, and by extension Adrian's, to tell Marinette why he betrayed Ladybug and why he and Kagami need her help. The concept is also applied through the powers or nature of some characters. Gabriel akumatizes himself into Night Tormentor, a villain with the ability to manifest one's nightmares. Argos gives life to his and Kagami's thirst for truth to create Once Upon a Time, a Sentimonster capable of projecting sceneries and special effects for a play. The revelation of Adrian and Felix's nature as Sentimonsters shows how the emotions accompanying their creation are reflected in their personalities. Adrian is the representation of his parents' love for each other, a feeling that defined his kind nature. Felix is the representation of the jealousy towards his father towards Gabriel and Emily, an emotion that, combined with his father's mistreatment, defined his cold nature. Inability to properly interact with his peers and to succeed at everything. Representation also means acting or speaking on the behalf of someone, which is shown in a few or other episodes from Gamer, where Max and Marinette represented their school for the gaming tournament, in Haxon, where Scarabella represented as Ladybug's replacement for the weekend, in Ephemeral, where Adrian represented his father's replacement for the celebration of the 100th collection of his father's brand, such as Ladybug and Cat Noir representing Paris's hope and light. A person's actions are also used to represent something, like Ladybug in Season 4, where her actions of pushing Cat Noir away and Hot Mop's obsession represented her fear of Cat Noir being akumatized and it being her fault it happened. Hot Mop's actions in trying to reunite his family represents his competence, independence, dedication, and passion, but also his obsession, selfishness, desperation, and lack of trust towards others and fear of his truth. Adrian and Felix's hesitant actions were the same as represented their fear of being hurt again or hurting others. During the British TV news broadcast at the beginning of the episode, the presenter says God Save the King, which is the name of the British anthem and expression of the British patriotism and hope for the long life of the reigning monarch. Originally, he would say God Save the Queen, and this is changed due to the death of Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2022 last year, and the ascension of her son King Charles III to the throne. And the name of the British news network, BBD, is a parody of the BBC. It's revealed that Miss Bustier and Armand de Argencourt are both running for mayor of Paris. This is the second time Armand is seen running for mayor following dark blade through the presenter's comments, revealing that he campaigned for this election repeatedly in the past. The mysteries surrounding the aggressing Grandi Vanilli families are uncovered. Emily and Amelie are the only children of two members of the British aristocracy, with the former being the older twin and the one with their parents have entrusted their legacy, including the Grandi Vanilli twin rings. Emily went to study abroad, possibly to Paris, where she met and fell in love and married Gabriel Agreste. Meanwhile, to satisfy her parents' will, Emily married Colt Fathom. Emily is implied to have also been abused by her husband, due to the fact that the narrating saying that if he became fond of anyone who displeases his father, it then shows an arm of a stuffed rabbit being ripped, and in Gabriel Agreste, Emily also wore a bunny mask in the party. Both sisters had trouble getting pregnant, much to their despair. However, after finding a peacock miraculous, Emily used its power to get pregnant. And this confirms the theory that Adrian is a Sentimonster. Through Kagami and Felix's play, Marinette learns that the latter's reason to only betray her, and only partially, that Gabriel Agreste is monarch. And this is the first time when Cat Noir deals with an akumatized villain entirely on his own without Ladybug Miraculous Holder's assistance. In Meridex, Cat Noir was dealing with an akumatized villain without Ladybug, though he was unaware that she was helping him find and break Meridex's akumatized object without being able to transform into Ladybug. In Haxon, Cat Noir was dealing with an akumatized villain without Ladybug, although a new Miraculous Holder Scarabella assisted him. And the people that return to statues, and the moon in Cat Noir's nightmare is similar to destruction in Cat Blanc. Cat Noir somewhat looks similar to Cat Blanc, having blue eyes and a white suit. Cat Noir's fight against Night Tormentor is similar to his fight to distract Gold Record in Migration, and at one point it's also similar to him angrily fighting the Darker Owl in Jubilation and the Dark Humor in Derision. As of Recreation, The Last Day Part 2, which we'll get to eventually, this is the last Akuma battle where Gabriel is monarch. And this is the 19th episode that features a post-credit scene following Miracle Queen Gabriel Agreste, Optigami, Centibubbler, Dearest Family, Multiplication, Jubilation, Illusion, Transmission, Perfection, Derision, Intuition, Protection, Emotion, Protection, Revelation, Confrontation, Collusion, and Revolution. Unbeknownst to this, Cat Noir, in calling Night Tormentor a coward, also called Monarch a coward, referencing how Gabriel always uses his victims to fight into place. This is the second time when an akumatized villain has nightmare-related superpowers following Sandboy. This is also the third time a villain's akumatized object is a pen after the Evil Illustrator and Troublemaker. This is the third episode when Lucky Charm isn't used after Catalyst and Risk. Also, the seventh time when a Miraculous Ladybug superpower wasn't used following Ladybug and Cat Noir, Catalyst, Destruction, Illusion, Intuition, and Emotion. It is revealed by Adrian that the magical effects caused by an akumatized villain are cast on a person. They will remain until they are restored by the Miraculous Ladybug. This is the 17th time where the magical charms don't appear since their introduction, following Centibubbler, Haxam, Ephemeral, Protonico, Risk, Evolution, Destruction, Illusion, Passion, Reunion, Transmission, Deflagration, Intuition, Emotion, Revelation, and Collusion. This is the 7th time when the space power-up is used following Miraculous Shanghai, Miraculous New York, Dearest Family, Ephemeral, Multiplication, and Intuition. This is a 10th episode that partially takes place outside of Paris, after Miraculous Shanghai, Star Train, Miraculous New York, Multiplication, and Emotion. The scene where Monarch detransforms is similar to the one as Hawkmoth in the Collector and Monarch 3 Rings in Multiplication. This is the 5th time Marinette's hair is seen in a bun following Anime Stroke, Plummy Buster, Derision, and Emotion. This is the 2nd time Marinette is seen wearing a dress following Emotion. The drawing on the paper that Marinette saw of her and Adrian looking at each other was the most likely done by Kagami, due to her being revealed to be good in artistic skills as shown in Lies and Determination. Through Adrian, it is revealed that Centimonsters can be affected by the powers of akumatized villains, even to the point of being transformed into someone different like a quote-unquote Reflecta. Also as seen in Timebreaker and Miraculous Shanghai, Centimonsters can be killed temporarily, but restored by the Miraculous Ladybug if their unlocks are still active somewhere. Long before this episode aired, there was already a popular fan theory stating that Adrian and Felix are Centimonsters. The story Felix showed to Marinette about their family history and cult fared similarities to King Runyard from Frozen 2, and as both thought highly of themselves and little of others, that they were beneath them in social ranking or status. The theory was supported by several episodes throughout the series, where Gabriel aggressed Twisted Emily's ring whenever Adrian would attempt to disobey him. He has a hatred of sorcery with anyone who used it, but unlike Runnard, Colt resulted in his magic to create Felix. As King Runnard feared magic and Colt was jealous that someone else used magic to surpass him. They also blamed their problems and actions or things or people who weren't responsible, as well as their choices leading to their demise. Argo's drawing a heart for Kagami on his London apartment window is similar to Adrian drawing Marinette's face and a heart next to it on his bedroom in the bathroom mirror in Passion. Because of their actions, both Colt and Runnard caused problems from other people, including their own families. This is the first episode where Marinette or Ladybug and Adrian or Cat Noir doesn't share any interaction with each other in a way, physical or talking. In the original storyboard, Sabrina was originally in the end card. In the second version of the end card, Ladybug was supposed to be in the end card, but she was replaced by Rose in the final version. In the original scripts, Tom and Sabine were originally going to appear in the episode, leaving that in a plot hole.
Now you know!
Overall, it's actually kind of fantastic to see Adrian and Night Tormentor battle it out, and we are only 2 episodes away from the final battle.
That's great, Natalie. But even so, Marinette looked so beautiful in a white and pink dress. Her makeup is prettier, and her lip gloss is shiny and has a nice glitter, even though she wanted to party, but Felix and Kagami wanted to tell her the truth and help win. Let's get into the final rating of the episode. We give the 128th episode of Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir representation, The History of Felix Fathom, a 9 out of 10. And this episode's overall rating is a 6 out of 5.
Oh yeah, next time!
Look out, here we come!
Confirmation, the final day, part 1.
The Final Day Part 2.
No time to read a list. Approved. Next.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. What do you think? If you appreciate it, please be sure to super smash that like button, and be sure to follow my social media platforms in the description below and in the Team Lifelike stand-up channels. Please be sure to leave a comment below, and please give us your open-minded thoughts, because we here at Team Lifelike stand-ups do not condone harassment, violence, or trolls allowed, or otherwise Red Howick from the Comedy Central's Ren and Stimpy Show will haunt you down till the ends of the Shadow World. Please be sure to subscribe to our videos and click the notification bell. You'll never miss a video the second it goes live on YouTube and Google. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
I want to say, as myself, to everyone out there who's watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Gabe and Natalie's YouTube channel. They're awesome, so check it out. That's so cool.